fantastic pains and how we hide them. I'm not Chris.
And I'm not Karina.
But we're here together.
As usual.
With more silliness and conversations.
Yeah, it's a day. It's a good day.
It is a good day. Like one of the very rare, like...
Is it a Bones Day? Did you check?
I didn't check, actually.
Oh, no. We don't know.
It was a Bones Day yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, yesterday was a Bones Day.
We were just late on the Bones Day. That's what it was. It might have been a Bones Day. I don't know.
If you don't know, just look it up. Look up if it's a Bones Day. I think it'll show up.
Just
bones.
hashtag no bones.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's what you need. Hashtag no bones.
It's better to not describe it because I just want people to experience it naturally.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It fills our day with joy and nonsense. It's a good way to start.
Yes.
So we've got some topics here.
Heck yeah, we do.
That we pulled from our Discord, which is cool. So if you join our Discord, you get to suggest topics and talk about the episodes and like symptoms of venting, memery, and pets.
There's all sorts of stuff. And we're adding things all the time. So go for it.
It's lots of fun.
Mm-hmm.
We like it quite a bit. Is that you or me?
That was me.
I was like, wait, hold on.
Just move my cable real quick.
So what's our first one?
Well, we have to do our weekly recap.
Oh, that's true. So it's time for the weekly recap.
Check in.
Hey. I had it pulled up.
Her week. My week I can do.
Did I hand it to you?
No. What'd you do with your phones?
I don't know.
It's gone forever.
You do your week. And
then... Oh, it's right there.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
My week. My week was up and down. Yeah. It was mostly a physical week. Like, all I did was edit and work on other projects.
Yep.
A lot of video stuff.
But we got to hang out a couple times.
Yeah. We shot those 2 videos.
Yep.
Which I have no idea if I'm going to be able to edit into anything. I want to so bad, but I have no idea what to do with them. Like I opened one up and I was like,
what is this?
What have I done?
So we did one that was just nonsense. Like we sat down to do makeup.
We did makeup.
And just talked.
Yeah.
And it was a good time. And then our other one yesterday was pretty great because we were both just not feeling good.
Yeah.
At all.
It was a video of a bad day. So people could visually see.
Right. Well, and I was hitting like belligerence and you were just fading.
Dude, I was melting. I was melting before you got there.
Mm-hmm.
My day was like, oh God, no, I'm done.
I was like, I'm coming over and we can feel bad together.
Hey, that's a good step though.
Mm-hmm.
It helped.
Reaching out, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Yeah, nothing too exciting.
No, not really. I mean, those videos, but they're going to be, we'll see.
They were fun. Even if they're just for us, they're fun.
Yeah.
Mwahaha. My week.
Oh, yeah, you had break.
Yeah. I was on break. Ugh. I needed it. Like, I really needed it. I needed, like, a full reboot. And then I did all of my adult stuff over the week as well. So I did get to rest, which was really nice. And I got some of my house back in order, and I'm still working on that.
Mm-hmm.
I did appointments all week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Monday I was supposed to have 2 different appointments, and I slept through one. Oops.
Classic.
And then the other canceled. So I still haven't talked to the chemical dependency people.
They're ducking you and you're ducking them, so it's working out.
Like, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. And then Tuesday I had root canal. That's what it was.
Yeah.
She said excitedly, like
it was a root
fucking
canal.
weirdo, but it wasn't a horrible experience,
right?
Which was fantastic.
They properly numbed you. They took you serious.
Yeah, like right out of the gate, I was like, I'm hard to numb, and they were like, cool, okay, let's work with that. And he was like, so with your condition, do you need like pre-meds? And I was like, no, I'm good there, because they were like, in any of your surgeries, did they like have you do antibiotics leading up? I'm like, no, my like immune system is fine. But yeah, no, they took me seriously, and he started out with 4 different injections.
Yeah.
Started working, like came back, started working, did another one into the tooth, which was nice. And then there was one more along the way because it started to fade out toward the end. And then he was like, I'm going to give you a long-term numbing one, which normally I don't do on the top, but I'm going to do it in this case. And I was like, okay, cool. So yeah, I was like numb, and I only felt at like the tail end when they were packing it, but that was fine. I was like, it's not a big deal, it's fine.
Right.
But yeah, no horrible hot, because you know when you can feel them drilling,
yeah,
and it just burns. Oh, it's so hot and so sharp and horrible. But yeah, it was nice. It was weird. I was like, what the fuck is this? This is the second time in a row these people have been kind to me. What the hell? This is bizarre.
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh, let's give you some like after meds. And I was like, okay. He's like, what do you normally take? And I was like, the oxyacetaminophen. And he just kind of squints at me. And I was
Give
like,
you the side eye.
I was like, okay, what? He was like, well, I know what it is, but because I was like,
I know what it is.
I thought he was like waiting for me to say the name. Like, I wasn't sure if it was like a weird thing where I was like, I had to be like, Percocet. I need Percocet.
Right.
I didn't know. So I was like, he's staring at me. Percocet? And he was like, I know what it is. I just don't normally prescribe it. And I was like, oh, well, Vicodin doesn't work and Tramadol is a no-no.
Yeah.
With all of the meds that I'm taking. And he was like, let me see what I can do. And then he came back in the room and he was like, what is the dose? I was like, it's like 5-3 something. And he was like 5, I don't know, 325 is what it is, I think. And I was like, yeah, that sounds right. And he was like, okay. And then he came back with the prescription. He's like, I don't normally do this, but for you, I'm going to do it. I was like, okay.
That's good. It's really good.
Yeah, which is nice. Yeah, and then Thursday was Wednesday was dogs to the vet.
Yep.
Which was it was just chaotic. It was fine, but it was just chaotic. And then we hung out and did makeup. And then Thursday was like a true to myself day, which was super nice. Like I needed that. And so I just like did laundry and did self-care and I went shopping and I bought new clothes because I haven't done that in a really long time and I need to. Yeah.
That's fair.
And then yesterday was Friday and it kind of sucked.
Yesterday was Friday.
Yeah.
And it sucked.
It sucked, but it was fine. So it is fine. It wasn't fine at the time.
Mm-mm.
It was shitty.
You'll see maybe.
Yeah.
The chaos.
Yeah. It was not a good time and everything was acting up like all at once.
Mm-hmm.
So you had like really focal pain and then I had just like sporadic fireworks of wherever the hell.
Yeah.
Because this is EDS and nothing makes sense.
So I can tell you about that thing that I was going to say earlier.
Oh, yeah.
So I used to work at a restaurant / bakery / gluten-free establishment.
Yeah. Early gluten-free.
Yeah. Like we're talking 2007, 2008 is when I was working there. I worked there for a while and I liked it. It was fun. I liked the people. I quit. And then I came back and then I quit again. It was one of those things where like you keep coming back to it. Anyways, I was watching true crime documentary the other day. Guy from England does that chapter. Mike. He does like weekly videos. And he's like, this one goes in Colorado. And I was like, oh, cool, Colorado. And then he's like, yeah, gluten-free bakery. I was like, oh, wow. I wonder if it's like Debbie's. And he's like, Debbie's gluten-free. And I was like, excuse me? Fucking what? Turns out that this guy who murdered his girlfriend hid the body in Debbie's because he was working there. Possibly hid the body. There's a video of him bringing something in the middle of the night, putting it in the walk-in, and leaving. Yeah. I used to work there. That was trippy as shit. And it was like 2009 or something, like right after I quit.
What the fuck?
But it was bizarre sitting there watching that and being like, well, I know that. Like they were showing CCTV camera footage. I was like, yeah. And there's Monica. Yeah, I remembered. Like, Jesus. Shout out to Debbie's Gluten Free.
Wow.
They make good food. Yeah.
They had the best salsa. Like, it was the kind of salsa that I was like, eat it with a spoon.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good.
There was a lot of things that were really good. I mean, I wasn't a fan of the bread, but that's because it's not normal bread.
Well,
it has
gluten-free is icky.
It's hard to do. But the pizzas that she would make, oh man, I fucking loved it.
I remember, the crusts were really good. It was like the first time I'd had gluten-free that didn't taste like cardboard.
Yeah, she got to deal with some of the pizza places around and just, like, provided them with gluten-free crust.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it'd be on the menu, like, Debbie's gluten-free pizza crust.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that was a fun thing that happened.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
A little adventure.
Jesus. Should we jump into our first topic?
Oh, one other thing. You know Third Bridge, right?
Yes.
Shane Dawson
Oh, no.
moved to Colorado and just released a video of him going to Third Bridge. Talk about fucking weird.
My life is getting a little too meta.
That's how I feel.
I
Like,
crashed on Third Bridge.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went out there a couple
It was
times.
a Third Bridge because, there's like
Several.
two.
Yeah.
2 or 3. I can't.
There's
and
that
I
really
don't even
long
remember. It was the one that goes. So if you go all the way down Smoky,
one.
past like Arapahoe, and you keep going, and it turns into that like just empty space.
Yeah.
It was that route that he took us on because he wanted to go see stars.
Yeah.
'Cause we were hanging out. We were gonna go see him. No. We were hanging out. My friend Tim. We were waiting on him to go see like a movie or something.
Yeah.
And so he was like, "Oh, while we wait, I can go take you to see these stars." And so we're driving out there, on the dirt road, going up and over these like hills, these huge cresting hills.
That's Third Bridge, all right.
Yeah. And then we get down, like, I don't even know, toward the bottom, like right on the bridge.
Yeah.
And then there's like a black cow that comes out into the road, and we were like, shit. And all I could say was cow, and he like slammed on the brakes, and the car is going like this, and we slam into the guardrail.
Yeah.
And jump it.
Fuck.
And then we rolled down into the like ditch down below and like landed up against a tree. Yep.
You're one of the accidents at Third Bridge.
Yep.
Because they talk about it all the time. Oh, there's car accidents and teenagers.
They knew exactly where to pick us up too.
Oh yeah.
That was one of my like first why is this like okay moments where because I was the one, he was knocked unconscious. And now with context, it's so bizarre. With context, I swear to God, because they told us that we both should have been dead. He lived because he was knocked unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
They have no idea why I did. And it's because I have fucking EDS.
Yeah.
Because we're more likely to survive injuries.
Right. We don't become rigid and
right. Because we don't break. We just dislocate.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So EDS saved my life at one point.
Hell yeah.
Which is super bizarre.
But yeah. So that's a whole spiel right now.
Holy cow. Third Bridge is a weird place.
It really is.
And we used to go drive it, like Randy and I used to go drive it. And there were like times where song lyrics would change, or like it would be like daylight on one side and total darkness, clouds on the other.
Mm-hmm.
It's just weird, and time behaves differently. It's weird. It's
fun
weird.
Place.
It is a bizarre place.
Yeah, I took Jen a couple times when we first started dating. We're like, let's go explore it, and she wouldn't get out of the car. She'd roll down the windows a little bit and be like, all right, let's go home now. It's like, come on, we gotta actually look around.
Yep, that was me that time. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Jesus. Wow, memories.
I just thought that was bizarre because it was like I was reading something about it, like an article, and I was like, oh, he's in Colorado. That's cool. Oh, he's doing haunted stuff. It's another one of those where like
So
first one was like, I wonder if he knows about Third Bridge. And then it was like, it is Third Bridge.
It is Third Bridge. Fucking
weird, right?
My life is a little meta.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. I can't believe that. Oof.
Yeah.
What topic were we going to jump into first?
Let's go in order.
Okay. So, in our topic suggestions, our first one was from Ruth, talking about trying to plan for aging.
Yep.
And not being able to predict what your options will be and treatments and like coverage and all of that.
Yeah.
She says she's currently driving her husband crazy with the various concerns about the unknowns. She also included like fighting for disability, what those benefits would look like, and like being able to predict how long you'll be able to work or not.
Yeah.
So which is a good topic because we kind of went through this a couple weeks ago anyway.
Yeah, and I've tried signing up for disability before, and
You didn't work enough, right?
no, I worked plenty. I didn't sign up quick enough.
There was too many years between.
Right. I stopped working at the hotels with Jen when Sophie was getting to be at an age where I had to like focus more on her, and I was like, well, I'm in pain all the time anyways, so this will work out.
Mm-hmm.
Jen likes working, and I like taking care of the kids.
Right.
So I did that for 3 years, and then we applied, and it was like, oh, what your work history? What you worked? It's like, well, I did this. These days, they're like, oh, well, you don't qualify because you didn't work recent enough. But I hadn't taken it seriously, like if had I been like, oh, it's EDS, and I would have been fine.
Right.
But I didn't know until like 5 years after that. And
yeah, it's so hard too because EDS is not well like understood.
Yeah.
It's also hard to like advocate for yourself that way.
Yeah.
And be like, no, this really is debilitating.
Yeah.
But that like, how do you deal with that imposter syndrome too?
Yeah, no, you don't. You just have to fight it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know it, but you don't believe it.
Right.
And then how do you like tell other people?
Right.
You're not coming from a position of, this is my condition. It's more of a, well, I might have this.
I got some stuff going on, and
yeah,
it kind of keeps me from working sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it's hard because we're like, we don't fit the blueprint for disabled.
Right. Well, visually, especially.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, and that makes it so difficult because they're like, oh, well, you look fine. And you're like, that's great. I'm not fine.
You. But.
Great. Awesome. I'm not fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a difficult thing. And I've heard disability, like, get a lawyer right out of the gate. Like,
yeah.
That is the most consistent thing I've heard from people over the years is just get a lawyer. It's worth it. Just do it. But I also don't know, like, what the benefits are. And if it's more or less than working, or if you can get, like, what is it, Social Security on top of that?
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, would it be a viable income to begin with?
For me, it would have been like $1,000 a month.
Okay.
Like supplementary, basically.
Yeah.
Not too crazy, and that's with 2 kids. Like,
yeah,
the kids factor in a lot, and then how much you worked beforehand, and
I think I'll probably be okay because I've worked for so long.
Oh yeah, no, you'd be fine. I would have been fine. I had worked, I just didn't take care of myself for 5 years and took care of kids.
This is the first year I've put in for short-term disability coverage.
Yeah.
Just in case I had to like have a surgery or something.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. But it was a hard decision to make because again, you're like, is that a defeat?
Yeah.
Or is it just like, for me, I had to come at it from an angle of using surgery to kind of quantify that in my brain and going, recovery time, we could use this.
Do you ever feel like you're letting down your work though? Like by doing that, you're kind of letting them down ahead of time?
No, not usually, because I have such heavy work guilt to begin with that like, I hate taking time.
Yeah.
And they know I hate taking time, but
that's good.
There have been times I've had to. But like, it's such a teeny tiny itty bitty school that we all kind of cover each other's backs, and
that's good. We
all look out for each other, and they, I think, have a firmer understanding of everything that's going on.
Yeah. Well, they've seen it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
You made yourself visible, but it's not that bad.
I know, but it's embarrassing to like remember and be like, oh, that was vulnerable.
Cringy.
Ew.
Yeah.
Not my favorite thing. But yeah, no, there's a lot that factors in.
Yeah. Well, and like planning ahead with unknowns.
Yeah.
For me, that means making like tentative plans for every outcome. You know what I mean? Like, well, if I don't have insurance, this is what I have to do. If Jen doesn't have this kind of income, then this is what we have to do. If we don't get disability, like it's exhausting, but
what did you have done this week? You had Oh, it was your primary, right?
Oh, yeah.
That was great.
My primary. Oh, I love her so much. Marianne, thank you.
You got to tell that story because it was fantastic.
Yeah, so side note, I was looking at my health records, which I don't normally do because they don't change that much anymore. But we were looking, and she had changed the records to be like from hypermobile to EDS.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God. And she changed an over-medicated tag from an ER to nothing, like not over-medicated.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So, thank you. I feel more legit now.
Yeah. Well, you have it's acknowledged on record.
Exactly. Well, and
which is huge.
After you sent me the teeth thing,
yeah,
I was like, I can talk to Marianne because she'll be on board.
Good.
She'll fight for me, and so would pain management. They'd totally. They'd be like, well, bam.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to, but I'm worried income wise we wouldn't qualify.
Yeah.
But I also it cost me $700 to do the root canal. I don't have that kind of money to do all of the things I need to do.
Same.
So I'm like, it needs a crown, otherwise I'm going to lose it.
Mm-hmm.
I need implants at some point because I do.
Oh yeah, I'm missing 2.
Mm-hmm.
And this one's disintegrating. 4. This one's disintegrating. This one's disintegrating.
Yeah. The front one is
The front
I haven't
one
had that problem
ekes
yet.
me out, man. I want this one fixed right away.
Right.
Because the other ones I can hide with my smile. But I have to smile with just my top teeth. It's not a good look. Especially when you're holding your lip in place. Smile. Hi, guys. Can you move your hands there? No, absolutely not. This is how it's going to be. Oh, okay.
You just look smug all the time,
Doing an updated driver's license. We have to see your face. No, you don't. You really don't. Trust me. I even have plans. I have contingency plans for if I have to get major dental done, and how I would do that on the podcast, visually. Just wear a mask so I don't have to worry about it.
There you go.
Because it could be bad. Who knows?
That's fair. Yeah.
But it's one of those little plans that you have to make.
Right. Well, and I think that's really what it is kind of you have to come to a point where you can accept all of the outcomes.
Yeah.
So you have to pre-associate yourself with the positives and the negatives and then accept it at the same time.
When I was talking to Bappa when I had that whole shabacle.
Yeah.
I casually was like, well, if Jen needs to take less time or if she needs to work more to make more money and we lose Medicaid, that would be fine. I can go without medical for a bit. And they both freaked out. They're like, no, don't be drastic. I was like, I'm not. That's a thing I've considered.
Yeah. I
could function. I know what to do.
Oh, it would suck though.
Oh, it would, but it's doable.
Yeah.
It's one of those, you have to be ready for it in case it happens.
Yeah.
They thought I was just being dramatic, but I was genuinely no, I've considered this. This isn't something I wasn't ready for.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it really is. And for me, that meant I had to throw the kids into that pile.
Yeah.
Where is having kids a reasonable option? And then considering it from each different angle and then deciding to be okay with whatever the outcome is.
Right.
And so at one point I told Randy, I was like, if we find out that we can't have kids, I want to go on a big vacation.
Fair.
And I was like, that's what I want. That's the trade-off there.
Shit, I already had kids. I don't get a big vacation. Damn them and their cuteness.
They're also just lovely humans.
Yeah, I love my kids.
They're good kids. I think we say that in every single episode.
But they're
they're good. They're just wonderful people.
Yeah.
Tiny, lovely humans. So I think it really comes down to understanding what possibilities there are.
Yeah, I think maybe talking it through. If you could, if you can with your husband, talk it through.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know, for my brain, it makes sense to do a map almost.
Yeah.
Branching off in different, I don't know, because a decision tree.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. So take the major things that you're concerned about and see like have plans for both options,
Yeah.
for if things go well, if things go unwell,
Mm-hmm.
or even when you want to do them. I
Mhm.
think, because that's a huge one,
Yeah.
like deciding when to do the next step.
Right.
We
Yeah.
always talk about that. So it's a toughie.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I had something that was more assuring, but
Well, and it's hard for us to speak on it because we haven't lived that long.
no, and we have the same worries too. Like,
Right. I mean, they're there, but we have the luxury of pushing them off a little bit further,
right. Yeah.
which not everybody has. So, yeah. But yeah, I think that would be talk it through.
Mm-hmm.
Use that explicit communication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had that conversation with Jen. Lots of them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, like, time to update what's going on.
Right. Well, and it's interesting because, like we've said in the past, Jen has a more active role in everything, and I'm more self-contained,
Yeah.
I think. Partially because my husband is very, like, fix it. He's like, maybe this is what's, like, he was rubbing out my neck the other day, and he was like, maybe this is what's causing the spasms. And I was like, no, it's caused by the spasms.
Right.
No. So, yeah, no, I think I'm more self-contained, so I have to really think it through.
Mm.
And then when he gets concerned, then I talk him through it because I've already thought through it.
Exactly.
So I'm like, I have already considered this. You don't have to worry about it. Here we go.
Yeah.
These are the options. These are the decisions we can make. But I think, yeah, the timing of making the decisions is where I get stuck. Where I'm like, how long do I push it off before it's unreasonable?
Yeah. That's tough, man.
Yeah. So I think for myself right now is I'm going to try to make accommodations for myself within work.
Yeah.
So that I can continue working.
Right, because that weighs heavy on you.
Yeah. Well, and I like what I do and I want to keep doing it. I'm good at what I do. And if I have a kid come to me and say, no one has ever said that to me before, like,
you're literally the worst.
What?
It's sarcasm. You're really good at your job. I was going to say, if I have a kid come to me and tell me that I'm great, clearly I'm doing something wrong.
Well, he was crying and I said something like just genuine. Like it wasn't a planned thought. I was just like, I think you're wonderful.
Dude, if a teacher told me that, I would have lost my shit. So I'm just saying.
Well, I'm like, I'm just glad I was here to say it. Damn.
Right.
Someone else should have said it, but shit. At least I was here. Yeah. But I like what I do and I want to keep doing it. But I also need to make it reasonable for myself so that I also and that's the thing is the other piece of it is that everything is so tightly intertwined. So it's hard to make contingencies fit for both worlds, I guess, right? So I have to make accommodations at work so that I have more spoons at home, not only because I need that and I am going crazy, but also because I have responsibilities within the home and I have my husband that I don't want to become a burden to. Yeah. So I'm like, I got to accommodate at work. I'm going to advocate for myself this coming quarter. And now that we're staffed, thank God.
Yeah. I bet that makes a huge difference.
Yes.
Not having to worry about that.
Right. Exactly.
Damn. There was a second question or a second point that Ruth had.
This is I think what maybe the story that you had. Where the heck did it go?
I remember.
It was how to deal with coworkers who exploit what they know about your health problems for their own advantage.
So Jen once worked at a really, really horrible hotel company. And she moved up and she became like a manager, and then she was a district manager, and she was running like 50 something hotels at one point, and she was leaving all the time. And she had to fight with really toxic coworkers who would use everything ever against her. Like,
ew.
Yeah, I was one of the things that they complained about at one point, because we were living in one of the hotels and like, oh, well, he doesn't do anything. Because I used to, but I had quit to take care of both kids. We had a baby at that point.
Right.
So she got in the habit of writing everything down.
Yeah.
Everything that she did to prove, like, I did this and kind of have evidence, because people all the time will be like, well, Jen didn't do this, it was all
Right.
Jen, or so I think maybe writing down what you've done could help. Also, pain journaling in a way, writing down in the time that you've had to take time for yourself.
Oh yeah.
See what I mean? Like,
well, what is it? Bug was telling us about that his work installed, where if you take time, you just explain why.
Exactly. But doing that would be really handy, because then she'd have, a list of all the times to be like, well, this is what was going on at that point.
Mm-hmm.
This is why it happened. And this is how long it was.
Yeah. I think it also depends on like
how it's happening.
What you mean by taking advantage of.
Yeah.
Because I mean, that can happen in numerous ways.
Mm-hmm. I didn't want to ask though.
I know
I should have.
I'm like, maybe it was phrased that way for a reason, but yeah, I think it depends on what exactly you're going through and how they're using it against you.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm very careful to like install information along the way.
Yeah.
And like just desensitize people to it. Because if I put the correct perception out there first,
right.
like if I get to it first, then I keep a lot more control, I guess.
It's like making a joke about yourself first so that other people can't.
Right. Like if I call out this insecurity, then you don't have any power over me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do a lot of that just along the way.
Yeah. No shit.
And I'm like, and I make it funny. I'm like, ha 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 ha. This is
not funny.
This is hilarious. Shut up. Stop looking at me.
No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That sounds so toxic though.
Yes.
That whole situation.
Yeah.
I feel bad. I'll go murder some people if we have to. I mean, I got time. Just let me know.
I'll write you a letter.
Yes,
a very strongly worded letter. God damn it. Why are you inside of my brain?
I don't know. Genetics, psychic twin powers. Who knows?
Who needs genes when you have exposure?
Facts.
Yeah. Let's see. She followed up with how to prepare others to make your medical decisions if you cannot participate.
That's a fun one.
And then she says, my husband can't track everything and draws some incorrect conclusions. He knows he'd need to help if he ever becomes responsible for my care. While I'm making notes, I don't think it's enough to assist him. It's an interesting one.
It is.
You have more experience in that area than I do, for sure.
Yeah.
Because again, like I am very self-contained. And I'm also extremely resistant to help. So
I had to get
I'm
past,
not a good example.
I had to get past all that because I hit a point where I needed help earlier, I think. Oh God, it was a lot of, at this point, it's just years of talking about it.
Yeah.
Like she's fully aware of everything because I'm always updating her. Mm-hmm. And it's not a thing
it's
where
not
she's
fair though, because your husband is female.
Yeah, my husband's good. He's very good at his job.
It's different. We've got the male husbands, and
yeah, dude,
they're not quite the same.
No. I mean, it's just, and I've had lots of operations and surgeries, and she's been with me for the whole ride, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be like, oh, I need you to take me to the doctor. Let's go together. Keep me accountable too. Mm-hmm. So she's kind of just added it into her daily everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe how well she tracks everything. Like, I can't track my own stuff that well.
Me either. But she's on it.
Insane. But yeah, no,
I was thinking the struggle is more similar to what you have with Randy. Like, what would you do in that situation? How would you approach it?
I don't know. I think I would have to prioritize like contingencies again, right? Like, I don't know. It's hard because, so when I had my last hip surgery, They gave me way too much anesthesia. I don't know if I like woke up midway or she was afraid I was going to wake up midway or what.
Yeah.
But I was not coming out of it well, and I decided that breathing was just not important. So in a case like that, like obviously it's not like dire, but it's also like scary for him, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I consider that, I think, more than I would consider like teaching him how to deal with it. I don't know. Because again, like I'm not in a position where I'm likely to die.
Right.
So I've not had to think about or plan for an event like that. Does that make sense? Like,
No, it makes tons of sense.
It hasn't been on my radar.
I think the biggest difference between us is that I've had that major back surgery.
Yeah.
And Jen had to go through that, and it wasn't a good situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was ugly. I could have been paralyzed when I woke up. It took forever to heal. And so she had to take charge of a lot of things.
Mm-hmm. Now, here's the thing, though. Because we have a hard time quantifying what we should be concerned about.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it took me like 3 days after surgery to even understand that I was like, oh, my husband had to watch me, like, decide breathing wasn't a thing anymore.
Yeah.
That must have been horrible. So how do you, like, go about deciding, like, this
like
is...
what information is worth passing on?
Or like what situation is worth concern?
Well, there's two answers. I at some points pass on all the information.
Yeah.
But it depends on how dire it is, because the worse it gets, the less I talk about it.
Fair.
So she knows something's up when I'm like, it's fine.
Because were you even worried about the back surgery?
Absolutely not.
Exactly.
I wasn't even
That's the thing. How?
I don't know how she dealt with that, honestly, because I know it worried her.
Yeah.
I could care less.
Right.
Even if I did come out paralyzed, like from the waist down, I was like, that's fine. I'll just adjust.
Right. Like, I don't know. It's not like a suicidality thing.
No.
It's more that we're like, it's fine. Whatever happens, it's fine.
It's that ever adapting to every situation kind of
right.
thing.
And like, I don't know. Everything's always in flux anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, with the whole like, what's an emergency? Because everything is awful all the time.
Yeah.
So how do you decide, like,
well,
I should be concerned about this now?
That's something I've had to work on, was what I was going to get at, is that now I know I'm better at passing on when things are bad. Like, I have to have the internal dialogue of, oh, this is a problem. It's been a problem for more than one day. It could be something that's bigger than I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell Jen. You know, it has to meet a certain criteria.
Yeah.
So that's kind of been it. If it's new and it's lasted and it could be something, then it's worth passing on. Yeah. Because it's it's EDS. It's changing all the time. Right. Like right now, my hips are fine. Fucking weird. They usually are killing me. Yeah. It's my back and my shoulders of all things. Yeah, and your neck this morning, which was weird. Still is. I popped it and it felt kind of better, but not really. I helpless turtled the other day. I was really angry at my shoulders. And I stood in the kitchen and I windmilled my fucking arms around. I'm not gonna lie, I've done that so many times. The fuck you windmill time. Yeah, I'm gonna take charge. I'm gonna make it hurt. I know what I can do. Yeah, no, I do that a lot. The other day, I was outside and my shoulder went, like, I got a pang. I picked up a rock and I just chucked it as hard as I could. I was like, fuck you. Now you have a reason to hurt. Okay, yeah. Good. I'm not alone. No, you are not alone. I definitely did that the other day. I was just like, fuck these arms. I'm really over it. Those turtle shirts. I know. So our artist, one of our artists moved and it's been chaos. Mm-hmm. But Vizzy will get back to it at some point. It's just I'm excited. Just been a lot with work and moving and right. Well, it feels like it's been a lot for everybody. The last 9 weeks has been just crazy in general for all of humanity. Because we're starting a new year with less COVID, but also more COVID and more different COVID. And different COVID. Yeah. It's just weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I would have approached that because again, like I'm 28. I'm generally healthy, is what they always say.
Yeah. That's
But I'm also okay with the idea of dying. So that makes it hard too. So
right.
I'm like,
so you have to
remember
oh
well
that other people care
yes.
about that stuff.
Yeah. Because for me, it's not like I don't value my life. Like, while I'm here, cool.
Yeah.
Great, I'm here. That's fine. But also, if that stops being the case, okay.
Right.
That's also fine. Like, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a complicated
You got to
one.
figure out, like...
I have to think about it in terms of like how pissed off would my husband be if I died right now.
Well, and there's also not just death, but there's
just bring me back and beat me.
Being incapacitated to certain extents, like
right.
being unable to do simple things.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I couldn't reach for glasses because my shoulders were so damaged.
Yeah.
So I had to have Jen get glasses for me, like from the top shelf. Be like, can you get that? Because I can't.
Yeah.
It's little things like that at first, right? And then kind of it builds, and then you feel guilty because you're asking someone else to do something benign.
Yeah. Well, and that's where I have a hard time because without the excuse of surgery, I'm going to do it myself.
Right.
Like, just generally. And it's not because, like, I'm too proud to ask for help. It's that asking for help doesn't cross my mind.
Right.
Like, it doesn't.
But
that's childhood, actually.
I feel like, yeah, that's something you could work on. You know what I mean?
It's just hard because it's not, like, a conscious thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, okay, I need to do a task. How am I going to do this task? How am I going to execute the task? Not, oh, I can't do this task. Let me ask for help. Or, because in my brain, it's like can or can't.
Right.
As opposed to, like, I could, but I could also, like, make it easier by asking for help. Right? Like.
Yeah, it's definitely something you have to kind of get used to. Like, I ask a lot of the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I'm doing laundry, I have to be like, can you take this down and start it? Because I can't go up and down the stairs that many times with laundry. Because my legs would just die.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a fucking chairlift. It's the Catalina wine mixer. It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer. I don't know how that popped into my head.
I was like, what? In God's name?
It just know that it's the fucking.
Is that what
Catalina
you named your chair?
Oh God.
It's
I
Catalina.
Might now.
Oh my God.
It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer, Brennan. So I'm getting used to asking people to do things, and I got to do this, and if no one's around, then I can do up to this step, and then ask for this to be done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I prep for things. It's like working in a kitchen. I'm doing the prep work, and they're finishing.
Yeah.
Whatever the project
like being
is.
the sous chef.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
That makes sense.
That makes more sense. Yeah.
You're right, because I'm not like, oh, I can't do that. Because
Mm-hmm.
I'd feel shitty, because then I'm being lazy.
Right.
I'm being a horrible person for not doing the thing.
Yeah.
So it's like I break it down and force myself to ask, because sometimes I don't want to. I totally understand the I don't need help. Yeah. I can do this.
Like, you feel like a fraud.
Right.
Right? You're like, I'm perfectly capable.
Yeah.
I must just be a lazy shit.
Yeah, no, I live that life.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think you could work on it, though. Like, if it was needed, or when you hit that point.
Right. But again, like, it's that Silent Hill thing. Either you're in it or you're not.
Exactly.
And, like, right now, even though, like, things hurt and things have been really rough, like, my mobility is still good.
Yeah.
And so I'm still doing all right.
Lucky.
I also had to work really hard with a trainer for a lot of years. Because I tell people all the time, like, every PT I've ever had, I'm like, I attribute a lot of the mobility that I have now to working with my trainer. So thank you, Jackie.
I have mobility. It just hurts. I have painful mobility.
Yeah.
Too much mobility. You want some? Do you need some mobility? I'm willing to hand off some.
I have plenty of mobility.
According to yesterday in the shit, Karina, you'd rather just have stick arms that can go 360 degrees. Yeah. So I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. That was a great idea. I don't know what the fuck the problem is. It just needs to, like, swivel. Like, you don't need 2 bones in your arm. You just need a one, like a fucking doll. And then you don't have to deal with stupid joints like elbows, knees, and wrists, because they're stupid. There's too many bones. It's a pain in the ass to relocate.
Tell us how you really feel.
I don't like it. I would like different joints now, please. Like, just different design. We need to go back to the drawing board. Let's rethink bodies.
This has been her TED Talk.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Also, you're fucking welcome.
She's done it for humanity. She's fixed us with her doll arm theory. I'm not saying it's wrong.
It would be way easier.
It would be something.
It would be terrifying.
Windmill arms.
Windmill your elbows.
Yeah.
Just swing it in a circle. It'll be fine.
We should probably take a break.
It begins. Break time.
Break time.
So, you want to tell them what they need to do?
Take care of yourself. We love you. Just know that. It's true. I don't know you, but I still care about you.
True fact.
So, and if I do know you, I care about you more. My brain prioritizes, I guess.
It's not that. It's the
there's a connection.
I care about you with a direct label. Oh no.
Oh, that's because I hit a button. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. I was like,
we're still good. I put my phone or my water bottle on the remote. So
good job.
But yes, you gotta hydrate. So hydrate.
Yes.
Take your meds. Eat something if you haven't. Go outside.
Mm-hmm.
Do
Find
whatever
sunlight.
self-care that you need to do. If there's more, reach out to someone.
Put on some fuzzy socks.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, get comfy if you can.
Yeah, take a bath.
If you're cleaning, maybe don't push yourself so hard.
Just take a breather.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Take a break. Get some water. Stretch.
Or not. You know what? Just do whatever.
Do you. But nicely.
Well, don't have to be nice. You can do whatever the fuck you want. It's season 2. You can do what you want. It's free real estate.
Free parking.
All right. So on that note, we're going to go. Welcome back. How was your break? I bet you didn't start half your podcast and not record it. Neither did we.
Get 20 minutes in and then realize
that would never happen here.
Recording.
We're a professional setup. We're real good at our jobs. Anyway, we want to continue the episode with more of the topic suggestions.
Yes. And so we have one here.
Do a different one.
Do a different one?
Mm-hmm.
A different
Sorry, Craig. We'll be back to yours. We did a whole spiel on yours, and we'll revisit it next week.
Yes, it was actually, I think that brings us to the end.
Okay, well then we're gonna have to. Let's do it.
Because I think the rest of it is replying to Krieg.
Yeah.
Laundry routines. Let's see.
You should read it again.
I hate changing my sheets because of my possible pots. Yes. Okay.
This is something I've noticed about our Discord. And something that I've noticed about us, but everything's a possible.
I know.
Everything's. I might have this.
Maybe.
It's I have this thing that happens that might be this thing all the time. We do it to everything. It might be pots. My maybe pots. My maybe EDS.
Mm-hmm.
My maybe ADHD. Neuroadjacent, not neurotypical.
You're also not neurotypical. Shut the
I am the epitome of neurotypical. My brain, oh boy, functions so normal.
What is normal? Someone explain it to me, because I'm very confused.
Yeah. Anyways.
It's a fucking scarecrow again. Anyway.
Right.
So Krieg asks, how do you adjust your home to living with chronic pain? Which life hacks are helping you to be prepared for a bad day? So let's start with that one.
Yes.
A lot of it, I think you're already doing, Krieg, with the, like, we build a nest.
Yes.
And we keep things close.
Having your zone set up with having things nearby. Like my setup upstairs, which we recorded.
Yeah.
Which is, well, maybe see the light of day.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
We'll see.
I have a bin with all my medications under the bed that I can just pull out.
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly gabapentin, but you know, you make do with what you got.
Yeah.
And then I have a shelf that's next to that has all my snacks on the bottom, the Apothecana and stuff that I need at the top.
Mm-hmm.
It's like everything I need for care.
Yeah.
When it's bad, because if I'm in bed, it's usually bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also have my computer and editing rig up there so that I can lay down if it gets bad, like so that I can work a little bit at a time when I feel up for it.
Yeah.
Which has been really helpful.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, and I think that like working a little bit at a time is kind of our theme.
Yeah.
Like,
chip away at it.
Do what you can when you can.
Exactly.
And use like, so for instance, I use a lot of the like, may as well.
Yep.
Right. So I'm like, I'm in here. I may as well.
It's
may as
so
well
handy,
do some dishes.
Though. You get a lot done when you make use of the extra time because you're there.
Yeah. Well, and it doesn't feel like starting a task.
Right.
Like, especially, and this is what's been really helpful for me recently is like giving myself like a time limit or like racing something. So I'm like, my food's in the microwave. I've got 3 minutes that I could be doing something with. I bet I could wash 4 of these dishes. So like setting it as a challenge to myself.
Well, it's got to be too helpful because we like to barter out our energy with spoons. Yes. I mean, that's the only downside to spoon theory is that you kind of preemptively assume that something's going to take so many spoons to do. So you're like, oh, that's a big task. I don't want to tackle it.
Right.
When it's little ones, it's like you don't even have to worry about it.
Right.
It's like it doesn't even register as an energy drain.
I think that's exactly it, is that it becomes like this sidebar to a task you're already doing. And so it doesn't feel like doing 2 or 3 things at the same time, which is nice because we get overwhelmed.
I've never been whelmed. I'm always overwhelmed.
Never underwhelmed?
I want to be whelmed once in my life, please.
I don't know that I've ever been whelmed either.
You know, you're like walk into a situation and you're like, you know what? I am perfectly whelmed for this. The proper whelm.
I'm whelmed. Well whelmed.
You're like, hey, buddy, I'm whelmed. Yeah, I know, right? Never happens.
So yes, making accommodations for yourself within the home. I think a lot of it we do already, like subconsciously, like the build a nest and keep everything in the nest, like food and snacks.
Or like when you need something, like if you need a step stool to reach something or anything that's handy, we usually keep it nearby.
Yeah, or mobility aids.
Yeah, my house is littered.
Yeah.
Jen has the cane in her car.
Because you never know what room you're going to be in when you need what. Yeah.
My cane's on the main, or my walker's on the main floor, and I have a cane upstairs, and I have the boot for when I roll my ankle. Yeah. The boot. I love the boot.
Yeah. Well, and that, I think, is a big one, keeping mobility aids around. We get asked a lot, like, how do you afford? They come from the pharmacy or the doctor.
Yeah. Like, you can ask your doctor for stuff, for small ones, and they might have them. It just depends on what they have in stock and what they're willing to do for you.
Yeah.
Like, if you have a good doctor and a good relationship, and you're like, hey, my wrist has been hurting. Do you have a wrist brace? They might have one on hand. So. Oh,
you know what we should talk about at some point? Not today, but maybe we should talk about building good relationships with care professionals.
I actually had already thought about that.
Really?
And I kind of wanted to bring on Pedro or
hell yeah,
Marianne.
That would be really cool.
Because Marianne might be game.
That would be awesome, actually.
Mean old nurse practitioner.
That would be so cool.
She's not mean at all. She's the best. She's delightful.
That's awesome. That would be really cool. Yeah. Because I think we talk a lot about, like, advocating for yourself to not so great care professionals.
Right.
But
what do you do once you have that nice care professional? How do you build that rapport?
Yeah. Well, and I think, what was I talking about the other day? It was in in the forum somewhere. I think it was probably venting. Like, how do you work with a doctor? Like, how do you keep them on track, really? And I think for me,
I remember that discussion.
Like, the pain journaling is a big one, so I can be like, look, this is what it's like, every single day.
The one where I had to talk about being accountable, like having someone go with.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. The other part was like I had to get really good at steering the conversation.
That's what Jen's for.
Yeah. Well, and I had to like get really good at, and here's the thing is that there's that like ego stroking that you have to do before you can push.
I don't stroke egos so good.
Yeah.
I'm good at like building rapport with people who are funny.
Yeah.
Or
that too. That makes it so much easier.
Right. When you have something like that, but I'm not good at being like, wow, you're a professional doctor. What's that like?
Oh, no.
Tell me about your amazing knowledge.
No. So when they like suggest something that you're
Yeah.
like, oh, that's bullshit. Usually my response is like, oh, wow, yeah, maybe. I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
like,
I usually go, I had never considered that. Or,
yeah, I'll have to do some more research. That would be really
Yeah.
interesting. But what I've come across is blah, blah, blah. Or what I've heard of or like
right.
heard
Bouncing
talked
off of
or-
that.
Yeah.
Like building.
So acknowledging their position and then
Yeah.
steering. But I will say it's takes some finesse, and social anxiety can get in the way of that quite
Yeah.
a bit. Anxiety in general can
Mhm.
get in the way of that quite a bit. So yeah, so take someone with you if you don't have that.
Someone who's pushy and bossy.
Yeah.
Willing to be like, nope, it was this. But that are nice because I have to tone Jen down sometimes. Like, just calm. They didn't mean anything by it. They're just being nice.
Right. Yeah.
Anyways, back to. Do you have any DIYs, like, or like life hacks that help? Because I don't really life hack anymore.
No, because that takes energy.
Yeah.
Um.
And most things I'm like, I can just do that
Yeah.
this way. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Like I place things strategically so that they're available to me.
Mm-hmm.
I try not to like put things in drawers because I tend to forget that they exist.
Yeah.
So things that I might need, I like to keep out in the open so that I can be like, oh yeah, I have that. I can try this.
Yeah.
There is something that I have been kind of DIYing because I've essentially given up with chiropractic at this point because it's so hit or miss, and it's such a disappointment when you go and it's a miss.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just sucks. And so I've been doing a lot of like self-adjustment, but
Yeah.
like really carefully felt through
Yeah.
self-adjustment. So like going through, and it's like, I don't know,
There are
like a range of motion testing. Like I put myself through the paces.
There's a bunch of TikToks by actual chiros that are handy for that kind of thing. Where they'll the ones I get are always like, don't do this, and it's like someone with like thumping things smacking somebody,
mm-hmm.
or you like do this one instead, like try this to get rid of this.
Yeah,
there's a lot of those, and I've been trying some of those out, which has been nice.
I've been trying I think it was a TikTok actually that talked about a woman with really severe scoliosis
Mm-hmm.
who was able to like majorly improve herself through movement and breathing.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to kind of use that principle because I know that like my spine sits weird. So my pelvis is always off kilter, but my spine comes straight up out of it.
Well, for the longest time, you thought you had a longer leg than the other one.
Right. Yeah. So it sits off, but my spine doesn't go with it. My spine goes straight up.
Yeah.
And so there's always something off in the bottom. And then at the top, I have this little crook that comes in like right under my shoulder blades.
I can fix that. Let me just punch you really hard. A couple times.
So
It
I've
might
been
take a
like
few.
doing a lot of like lean to one side and breathe into that lung.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other side and so on and so forth. But in doing that and then doing those like putting myself through the paces, I can find like what's not moving correctly.
Yeah.
And then I can adjust. A
A
lot of my adjustment is like leaning and flexing.
Right.
Like you can move a lot of stuff in your body without a lot of force.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you flex the correct muscles and apply the right pressures.
A lot of body awareness.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
At times. One of those
Yes.
times it's handy.
Yeah. So I've been doing a lot of that lately because it's easier for me to take charge of my care, I guess.
Yeah.
Instead of like letting it be willy-nilly,
Mm-hmm.
which was really bothering me and making me feel really helpless.
Yeah, no shit.
Where I was like, this is just not it.
That's absolutely fair.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what other option do you have other than to take charge?
Right.
Just be hopeless.
Just not. Yeah, exactly.
What was the other part of Krieg's?
Creating routines.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
I used to have a lot of routines.
I
don't anymore.
I don't know. I don't either, but I need one. Like, I know for a fact I do better with routine and I do better with structure.
Yeah.
But I am incapable of implementing that structure.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I get stuck a lot. And so routine for me is, again, like that, like, may as well. So if I'm outside having a cigarette, I'm like, oh, I could clean up the dog poop while I'm out here. That's fine. I can do that. Or like I'm standing in the kitchen, gonna fill up the dog water, gonna do whatever over here. So I try to do things on my way through my house.
Yeah.
And kind of work in a path. Like,
I do. If I'm going somewhere, take something there that needs to be there, or
don't put it down, put it away.
Exactly.
I do that a lot. I'm like, don't put it down.
Well, I've been trying to teach that to my family, and they don't. They don't. They just don't.
Yeah.
It's
well, like it takes like you have to be aware in the moment.
Yeah.
Because like as you're going to put it down, my brain kicks in and goes, "Don't put it down. Put it away."
I have to say that to Jen a lot.
Yeah.
Like, just put it away. She's like, but and like it's so much easier.
Yeah.
In the long run.
Well, and that's why like I try to use things close to where they go.
Yeah. That's fair.
Because if I can do that, then it's a much easier cleanup.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't have to like struggle quite as much.
Right.
So, yeah, I try to keep things in their like assigned rooms. And that's what helps me a lot.
That's fair.
But I've got nothing for you when it comes to like establishing a routine. Especially living alone. Like if my husband were to be like, here's our routine, I'd be like, awesome, cool. But no.
I've tried setting up routines with Jen before. Which
she's also ADHD mess.
Yeah. Well, we're completely the opposite.
Yeah.
Like I said before,
me and Randy too.
We took the ADHD test, and she's everything she said yes on, I was like, nope, and everything I said yes on, she was like, nope.
Yep.
Like we're completely the opposite.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you'd think it'd be complementary, but it's more multiplicative in the negative.
Yeah. Randy's more like you, and I'm more like Jen.
I'm more like me, and he's more like him.
Which is funny because he and Jen are like the same person.
Yeah.
It's just weird. Like, but he's got that like his executive functions work.
Mm-hmm.
Mine do not.
I don't know how well mine work, honestly. I think they work pretty well.
Yeah, yours work. And that's why you were doubting you had ADHD in the first place.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you're more like Randy in that case. I'm more chaotic. I'm more like Jen, where I'm like, everything is just ridiculous all the time.
Yeah, that's fair.
Make a mess wherever I go.
Do you make piles? Or did you used to at some point make piles with things?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I hate that. That was the bane of my existence. I'm like, Jen, I know you said you cleaned, but all you did was take everything and make piles all over the room.
Yep.
And she's like, but it's there. Really I know where it is.
Good at doing that and like putting things in baskets, and then they just live in the baskets for the rest of eternity.
Okay, well, I do that too because it's out of the way. It's in a basket. Fuck it. I don't know if that's good or not. Probably not. But
that's like our guest bedroom. It's just full of shit. Like it's just stuff.
So I can't.
But I know
over.
what all it is.
I can't use the guest bedroom.
No.
What if I have to have
to
space?
Set up a waterbed, and that's really hard.
You guys have a waterbed for your guests?
Yes. My mother-in-law made us take it.
Oh, okay. I was like, why would you purposely go out and buy a waterbed for people that you have over?
No.
That makes sense. That you ended up with it.
It was we were voluntold for storage of this waterbed.
And you're allowed to use it? Yeah. Okay.
They're like, let us know when you want to set it up. And I'm like, I'm never cleaning this room, so it's going to live here in pieces. Ha ha.
I'm just going to move into your house without you knowing.
And help clean it up. Is that the plan?
No. I'm not going to make you clean it. I'll clean it up. I'll set up the waterbed. I'll just like visit and be like, make it so regular that I actually live there.
There you go.
It'll be half on, half off.
That's like what I do here.
I'll live with my divorced families. 1 week on, 1 week off.
Both of us. Yeah. We'll just go back and forth from here to my house to here to my house.
Yeah.
There are days, actually recently, where I was like, damn it, I wish he could come over. I was like, I don't want to go to your house. I want you to come here.
You can message me because most of the time
I'm like, could. I want you to come here now.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. But I'm also super like self-conscious about my house.
I don't think
I don't know
I've seen your
why.
house when
There's
it was
no reason at
messy.
all. There's literally no reason, but I like
your house.
it's anxiety inducing for me.
I'm the same way though. I say that and I'm like, I feel like our house is a fucking hellhole, and I'm sorry that you have to come over and deal with it.
Well, and that's how I like have to think about it, because I'm like, I'm sure Chris feels that way, and I just don't care. So I'm sure he wouldn't care.
No, I quite like your house. I'm more into the architecture of everything, anyways. So if anything, be embarrassed that you have like exposed beams that aren't, you know what I mean? Like, ugh, you have a split level. That design is so 1986. He said, being born in 1986. But you know what I mean. Like, I'm gonna judge it more as a building than how it looks on the inside.
Right. Yes.
So don't worry about it.
Right.
I like it.
You're like, I need you to come over now. Get over here.
No, I could walk. I want to get one of those wheels, one wheel, where it has like a motorized and you can stand on it. I want to get one of those. Then I could actually come over.
It's like a skateboard, but
yeah,
on one. Yeah,
I want one.
It's like a hoverboard, but not really.
We're looking for sponsors, so.
And I was like, "Hey, Apothecana, sponsor us."
We got to hashtag them and everything. Apothecana, brought to you by some fantastic paints. I don't know if they want their name associated with that.
They're not sponsoring us. We just really like it.
It's so helpful, though.
Yeah, like I've done from Tiger. Oh fuck! I can't speak.
No speak. She's gonna say Tiger Balm. It's a painful cheek. Oh god, now it's vibrating.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. You don't think it's infected, do you?
I'm a little worried it's in the sinus.
That's what it seems like, is because it comes in waves. Oof. Do you feel it building up, like kind of like pressure?
Yeah. Well, and I felt something move.
Yeah.
In here, so I'm a little concerned that they went into the sinus, maybe.
Well, remember when that
happened
to me?
Or if there's like infection trapped.
When they did the first part of the root canal on this one, that's when the infection came out through the tooth.
That would suck.
It hurts.
It's not like consistent enough, though. I don't know.
Anytime I've had like a sinus infection, it's been like that, where it builds up.
I don't know what's going on, but it's making me crazy.
I'm sorry.
And then it passes, and then it comes back, and I'm like, it just feels weird.
Yeah.
It's weird, and it hurts. Yeah. I don't know what we were saying.
We were talking about houses.
Houses. How we live in houses.
Or flats.
Those in glass houses.
Do we need to make a design that's I deserve a clean flat and a hurt body?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell Jen to make an alteration.
Yeah.
That way people can have choices.
Yeah. We're inclusive. Inclusive as fuck, boy.
Still inclusive as fuck, boy.
You don't even know how inclusive I really am.
You're included. You don't even know it.
We don't judge here.
I don't have a chronic illness. It doesn't matter.
I don't fucking care. Did you drop your milk as a kid?
Yeah, tell us about your trauma.
You're welcome. I love that one so much. It makes me so happy.
It's a good one.
Mm-hmm. You can't let the milk know you're afraid.
Never turn your back on a gallon of milk. Never. It's funny because now I'm paranoid. I was making cereal the other day, and instead of leaving it and turning around to get a bowl, I brought it over with me. And I said it in my head. I was like, never turn your back on a gallon of milk. So in order to not get murdered.
Creating a ritual for yourself.
Yeah,
that's like much. Me. I can't listen to Heat of the Moment on a Tuesday. It's not allowed.
I love the random rituals.
It's just supernatural.
Yeah.
It's trapped in Tuesday, and that's Asia plays. So Asia can not play on Tuesdays. Like, fair. I will almost crash my car trying to change the song because it can't play on Tuesdays.
But it does.
Get skipped real fast.
Yeah.
How many religions have we started? A lot. I have no idea.
It's 3.
Is it 3?
Maybe 4.
I don't know.
We only started after we made 1. We made 2. We're at 3 or 4. 3 or 4.
Cheez-Its on Fridays.
It's just a snack, guys.
You're a snack.
Oh, that's the part I cut out that no one knows about.
That was sad.
That was awesome.
What was the one that I liked so much that was corrupted?
Was the yelling one?
No.
There was one we couldn't find. Remember that?
I don't remember. I don't know.
I got a message.
Did you?
Yeah, it's probably from Jen, since you're here.
Your wafu.
Oh. It's from my sister-in-law. Sure. She wants me to work on our computers. She's going to bring a bunch of computers over,
nice.
and I'm going to work on them.
Yay, Frankenstein time.
Yeah, I'm going to record it. Content. I'm a shill now. All that money we're making.
All $0.
All that money I spent on this. Now that.
Yes. My massage therapist and I were talking about how it's kind of like gambling.
I'm not doing it for a return.
Well, exactly, but like, because he has like a brother-in-law who wants to be famous on Twitch or whatever.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, and he keeps spending all this money, but he's also not making content other places. And I was like, well, but that's the thing is all of the big names have a YouTube channel and a TikTok and an Instagram
and a team
and so on and so forth, right? So I'm like, you got to be on everything.
If I could pay someone to do our social media, I'd be so happy.
That would be great. I don't want to manage that.
I don't want to edit anymore. I like editing. I just wish that I could be making stuff more. Spend that time making something instead of editing it.
Yeah. Like making TikToks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we'll get there.
I'm not worried about it. It's fine.
Who knows?
Wherever this goes, it's okay.
I'm perfectly content. We get to 100 and stop, then we get to 100 and stop.
Right? We achieved a thing.
I mean, growth-wise.
Really
like,
cool.
I wouldn't end the podcast at 100. I'm not saying
You're
that.
like, okay, 100. Okay, bye.
If for some reason we only got
We're
100
done now.
subs, I'd be like, okay, cool.
No, it's over right then and there.
Everyone unsubscribes.
We're
Please
just
don't.
like,
My heart couldn't handle it.
don't do it.
I would mourn that loss hard.
No, you just have to go from 100 to 101 before we catch it.
Oh, okay.
And then it's fine.
Like
but if
when we
we
missed
see
69.
it at 100, yeah.
And 42.
Yeah, that was sad.
All the good numbers.
Yep. And 60.
Yeah.
Missed 60.
We miss all the good. I'm going to check now.
And 75.
Bum.
All the good numbers.
Every moment could be a comedic moment. I had to.
Do a little dance. What?
No growth.
That's because I haven't posted anywhere
And
yet.
I'm okay with that.
Are you? You better be.
I am. Like, I'm just happy that we have people at all.
Yeah.
So.
It's weird. We did a thing, guys.
Well, and it's turning into a we.
Happened.
We did a thing. And now we have people.
Yeah. Good people. Very cool people that we like a lot.
I think we should probably call it.
I think so, too.
I'm dying.
Especially because you have things that you're doing now.
No, that's next week.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
That's not like, now. I wasn't like...
Are you going to make it? Because I'm worried.
No, fuck that.
I might be able to, like, squeeze a nap in before I go see my in-laws.
Ooh,
Which would be
time.
nice. Not a real nap, because, if I lay down, I won't sleep. But I could lay down.
Yeah.
And watch TikTok for a while.
Yep. All right.
Thinking about the end again.
And TikTok.
On that note, we'll see you next time.
Yep.
Bye.